Your position coach said something really interesting today, that wind is something that doesn't really bother you. I think it bothers a lot of quarterbacks. So I'm curious, like, what gives you the confidence and the comfort to play in, the type of conditions you might see this week in Chicago?
Yeah, whatever it may be, we'll be ready, and I'll be ready. And I've played in cold games and windy games and all sorts of games. So, we'll see what it is, and I'll be ready to go.
What's the worst conditions to play in as a quarterback?
Ooh, that's a good question. You'd like it to be, 70 and sunny every time, but, you can't always have that. So, I don't know, anything that's not that would be, somewhat unfavorable, but you plan it every week. We've been, lucky to be in a dome a lot this year, but, if you play outside and you play in a little weather, we deal with it. I've had some of my best games in weather, and we'll see.
Just out of curiosity, can you reference one specific? What was maybe your favorite game where you played in conditions and had a performance that was memorable for you?
In LA, we played the Giants. In 2017. 2017, we played the Giants. I think we won 51-17 or something. It was raining, it was windy, and we threw the hell out of it and had a good day.
What about playing a team twice in such a short period of time? Is there any issue in that at all, good, bad, and different?
Yeah, it's interesting, that you get them, so back to back, and they only had one game of inventory for us to see in between. So, yeah, it's interesting, and they're dealing with it too. So it's always a little bit funky, but they'll have something new for us, as will we for them.
What were the biggest challenges that defense presented to you last time out?
Yeah, I think they're so improved from earlier in the year, and then even last year. How stout they are on the inside, how good they are against the run, and then how hard they play. Man, they play hard, and they've got really good players on every level, and I think their coach has done a really good job of putting them in the right spots to make plays, and they're playing confidently.
Curious, when the offense is just playing in general as well as you guys have this season, how much do you worry about just maintaining what it is, or are you always thinking about how much you're leaving on the table as a competitor?
You tend to think about that, obviously the grand picture of the season, we've done some good things, but we who we are and what makes us great is that we see the things that you miss on that you wish you could have back, and that if you would have done that, it would have been a perfect day, and so that's what makes us great, and we're always pushing to be better, and know we've done some good things, but can be a lot better, and that's still the exciting part.
Jared, you've been connected with Laporta more and more, and you've talked about it. In a weather game like this, does a tight end like that becomes even more valuable if it's windy and rainy and everything else?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, it depends on what we end up doing. I don't think we'll change our game plan much on what the conditions may be. So if he's involved and it's going to be no conditions, I don't think it would change much if it was conditions. We'll see as the week goes on what it'll be. I don't think we're thinking too much about it. But he's done a good job getting himself open and making those catches when it matters, and a guy that I trust a lot.
Thing where he really
kind of embraces the weather, doesn't care about it, doesn't impact you. What is it about the weather that
nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do about it. So if it rains, it rains. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We get to play indoors at home, which is great. But if you're outdoors and there's weather, you deal with it and you play. And guys do it every week all around the league. I've done it my whole career, and so you just deal with it.
Worse than precipitation, or is there something
It can be. I think last year we played the Giants or Jets. It was windy, and that can have an impact on some things. But you deal with it. You make the throws you need to make, and move the ball and try to win the game.
How impressive is the lack of drop-off from Graham whenever his number is called and he's got to step up big?
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been really fun to see that. Obviously, Frank is one of a kind, and having him in there is a difference maker for us. But when Graham has to come in and handles it so well, mentally, physically, all of it, handles it really well. And last game was no different. And then, moving forward, we'll see what happens. But he's done a great job being ready to go and making sure he's on top of what he needs to be on top of.
I should know the answer to this, but do you ever throw a glove on the throwing hand? And if so, is that difficult?
I've done gloves on both hands in the past, and is it difficult? No, I love it. There's a certain threshold I always joke about, like it has to be cold enough. Yeah. Like if it's not cold enough, then it's not like very helpful. But when it's cold enough, I think it's very helpful for me personally, and something I've used in the past. So we'll see this weekend.
What's rougher on a quarterback, wind or snow?
I feel like I've been asked this question like 4 times in this.
Did you?
No, it's okay. They're both challenges that you overcome. You just deal with it. I don't think either one is particularly harder than the other, but if it's not perfect conditions, they're playing in it too. So you just deal with it and make the throws you need to make and compete as best as you can and try to win the game.
How's everything coming together with Donovan Peoples-Jones? He kind of joined before that compact of Thanksgiving stretch. Just do you feel it coming along with him?
Yeah, he's done a great job, and I think we'd like to get him involved more as this year goes on. And he's been helpful. He's had a great attitude. He's doing a lot of good things during practice and trying to find ways to get him involved. Certainly.
A couple more guys. Season strong, finishing strong. You guys are on the road. A number of games before y'all ending this year, playing some good ball. But what's the key to finishing strong for you guys this last stretch?
Yeah, just turn our urgency up a little bit and know what time it is, and know that kind of everyone is in that mode of you have to win these games, and everyone has things that they're going for, and no one's out of it, and everyone's trying to win the game. So knowing that you have to turn your urgency up a little bit and stay process oriented and trust what you're doing daily in practice. But yeah, it's certainly your intensity turns up a little bit this late in the year.
Does that turn up even more whenever you have 3 games against division opponents in the last 5?
Yeah, sure. Those games always feel like they count a little bit more. So yeah, I don't think it changes what we're thinking about this week. We're ready to play the Bears, and they are a division opponent. So yeah, it'll be another challenge for us. But yeah, looking forward, we do have some more coming up. But right now it's about the Bears.
Looking at the trajectory of your team since Dan got here, is there something about his approach that made him really well suited to sort of be the leader of a team that's going from not competitive to top of the division?
Yeah, I think last year we talked about this a bunch of his ability to stand in front of the room in the face of adversity and the face of challenges and be able to be the same guy every day, and to speak confidently to the room and to never lose belief in us when things are bad. And they were bad for quite some time there early on, and that speaks to who he is and why we believe in him and why we trust him and why he's the leader of this team.
How do you kind of know that he still believes in you guys? And like you mentioned there, what's he doing?
The way he speaks to us, and again, this is 2 years ago, and then early parts of last year. The way he speaks to us, the way he tells us, and how genuine he is, and he's a hell of a leader and a hell of a coach that we're happy to have.
Got hurt Thanksgiving, had surgery on Sunday, and then we induced on Wednesday. So it's been a tough but a blessed week, I'd say.
Fast, huh?
Yeah, it's definitely. There's a lot of different elements, a lot of different moving parts, but we were able to get it done and figure it out.
Did you even leave the hospital then?
No, different hospitals actually. No, it was good. Everyone took care of us really well, and it was a good experience.
Blessing it all that you could be around
Yeah.
for.
Yeah, I guess there was a silver lining in the whole situation. Obviously, I really wanted to play in that game, and you guys know how much that meant to me. But I guess it's just a silver lining in all of it, and God gave me just enough injury to not have me try to play that game. So then Dan and everyone did a good job taking care of me too, just making sure I was able to focus on my family and keep the main thing the main thing.
Back at practice. Go ahead. Tell us about this cool little device and how it works.
Oh no, this is just daily tool now.
Okay.
But yeah.
Custom? Custom?
Yeah. Okay. Yep, custom.
What did it feel like to be back at practice and expectations for Sunday?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Every time you have to sit back and watch on the couch for a game, it kind of gets you motivated. It kind of gets excited to go back to work, and it's definitely we're definitely motivated as a defense to kind of get going here and start playing good football, and it's just we hear the outside noise to a certain extent, and we definitely want to prove those people wrong.
What was your assessment of how Jack played?
Oh, he played well. He played well. Yeah, he did his job at a high level, and that's probably one of his better games. I think Dan mentioned that to you guys. So yeah, he played well, and it was a good job.
You hopeful for Sunday? Or just wait and see?
Yeah, we'll see. I was able to practice today, and we'll see.
Do you see anything different when you watch from home?
Hey man, it's hard. It's funny. I had a radio interview the other day, and they were asking me the same question, and it was it's hard for me, and I know, like, I came to meetings on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I knew the calls. I knew and it's hard to see what calls we're in. It's hard to say who has what responsibility. So from a fan perspective, I guess it's hard to say, oh, that's that guy's fault, and I think so. It's like, for me, it was interesting.
What happened with the thumb? I mean, I see the scar. Obviously,
Yeah.
you mentioned surgery. So
Yeah, just had to get a screw in it. Yeah.
what'd you do?
I have no clue. Honestly, I don't even remember the play. I just remember looking at my thumb, and it kept sliding in and out. So, yeah, it was just, so, and you put it back in, then it come out. So, yeah, I got a screw in it, and good to go.
What do you need dislocated? What was
I guess all the above, yeah.
What do you need to see this week, Alex, to feel comfortable to get out there again?
For me, personally,
What's your threshold for being ready?
I think it's just mostly pain tolerance. Yeah.
You spoke about hearing some of the outside noise. What area specifically, now that you sat back and got a chance to watch, do you feel like, okay, we can improve defensively to get this on?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, for me, I had during the game, I was able to go on Twitter a little bit and, and it's not necessarily that wrong. I think that we have to limit points as a defense. That's the number one stat. And then obviously the red zone has to improve. And, these next 5 games and going into the playoffs, this is when this is when it has to happen. We have to come together as a unit and get it done, figure out a way how to get it done.
Is there a level of urgency that you feel? Do you feel any, even though you guys have been winning, I mean, you guys haven't been losing.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Is there a level of urgency?
For sure, yeah, I think so. We're 9-3. We're in a good spot to win the division. We have really important games coming up, and even to place well in as far as seeding goes in the playoffs. So, yeah, there's a sense of urgency in that regard from a whole team perspective. As a whole defense, yeah, there's a race to improve. Every day, but. And really in the past, but these next 5 weeks are super important, and this is when, because you never know if this is our opportunity to make a run at it, and that's the urgency that needs to be had.
You said that you knew the play calls, and there were still times you couldn't really identify what's going on. What do you think the lesson is there for the outside world?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you shouldn't be so hard on. Obviously, someone misses a tackle or something like that. Yeah, it's kind of they need to make that, but yeah, as far as like. Guys open in zone coverage is like, whose zone was that? It's hard to really tell. But outside like the man-to-man, it's a little easier. But yeah, it's mostly the zone coverages and the run fits. It's harder to tell.
The defense for a sec. Do you feel like it's a tweak away or a little, some little things away? Is that all we're talking about here?
Yeah, I think it's just putting together a complete game, especially coming off last week. It's, they're a good team, and I know that New Orleans I follow them a little bit, and they've been getting a lot of hate. From their fans and their offense specifically. But, they still have star players. Obviously, Alvin was able to get going a little bit, and Taysom as well. So it's not like they're credit to them. But, we just have to put a complete game together as a whole and just continue to play fast and build off that.
And the challenge this week of doing that against Justin Fields and, a group that's playing.
For sure. Yeah. And I think the main thing is just limiting points, limiting number 1, and number 2 as well. So, yeah, as a defense, there's a big focus on that, and it should be a good one.
Anybody bring back some gumbo at least?
No one brought back any gumbo for me. Yeah, actually, my mom's in town, and she was able to make some for me last night to get my fix. So, yeah, that was her way of, her sympathetic way of cooking for me.
It's nothing better than soup, right?
Yeah, 100%, especially for mom.
How do you view sacks as a stat? Are they overrated? Are they not? Are they reality? Relative to pressure and production.
Right. I mean, it's definitely two different things, I think. Pressure and sacks it's a timing thing partially. For the most part, I feel like it's a timing thing. Got to be the right play, got to be the right offensive play. Got to be rushing. Have a good rush up front. You got to have good coverage. So I feel like it's a lot of sacks can be very circumstantial compared to pressures and stuff like that.
Elaine went on injured reserve yesterday. Just what does he do for this defensive line that you guys are now going to have to account for with him around?
Yeah, that hurts. I heard it happen when we hit knees or something, which I didn't even know. But that's a tough blow to our D line because he's been playing at a high level and. We're gonna just keep finding ways to win without, win with all these injuries, and we will.
we got that next man up mentality, and yeah, I mean it's tough. It's always tough seeing a guy who's improved so much like go down like that, and yeah, I mean we'll get him back soon, but it's definitely something you don't want to see.
What's the key to finding consistency within this defense, though? Just as you guys enter this home stretch, just what do you feel like? What's the areas of improvement you guys can have to finish strong?
Yeah, just executing and being all on the same page, and I mean it's just, I mean you said it, it's the inconsistencies. It's sometimes it feels like we're 3 and out and just playing at such a high level, and sometimes those drives are just 15 play touchdowns that we let up, and right now it feels like it's one or the other. So we got to just be overall more consistent.
You got the best of Justin Fields at the last game, at the end of the game,
yeah.
But throughout the game, it seems like he gets more and more dangerous as the more you guys play him. What is the most explosive part of his game after playing him quite a few times?
Yeah. I mean, just him being such an athlete, and we're just trying to show him a bunch of different looks, and with the zone read stuff and how we attack it as a defense. And I think we got a good plan this time. So just trying to limit his athletic ability and limit how much he runs the ball, and because he's going to get yards, but just limiting the damage is all.
What's one thing you feel like the defense is doing really well right now?
I think we either have a really hot start or we have a really good second half, So if there's one thing we're doing well, it's either the first half or the second half, but we just got to put it all together.
What do you think it'll take to put together a complete football game for the defense?
That is the $1 million question, I mean, that's something that, we're trying to figure out right now, and the only thing we can do as players is prepare in these walkthroughs and just act in the walkthroughs as if it's a game, and in practice everyone's given maximum effort, and so it's really just controlling the controllables and getting to Sunday and doing what we did all week.
We've asked all the offensive players about playing outside in the elements. With the way the schedule worked this year, it's kind of like the only cold, potentially wet and windy game outside all year. How do you feel about that?
You guys know how I feel. It's when the cold weather comes out, that's when I feel like I feel like my abilities go up a little bit. It's just, as the Michigander inside of me. So I love it. It'll be fun.
Any thoughts on Bruce Irvin's game on Sunday against the Saints?
Yeah, not very many snaps, but he was very productive in those snaps. So it's definitely something that we needed, and yeah, he's been great so far. So hoping he can keep it up.
Inspiration behind the haircut? Is there any inspiration?
Just got to change it up. And yeah, I long hair had to go. It wasn't doing it for me. So I said, screw it, let's buzz my hair off. So yeah.
The elevation of the play is even more. It's even higher in the playoffs. I know a lot of guys here probably haven't been in too many games, but the guys that have been, they've been telling me, playoff games are a whole different animal. So got to be able to elevate your game. Yeah.
If I remember, that was the special teams hit?
Yeah.
What do you remember about the play? What was it like kind of
yeah.
going through that? Ever lived that?
So, like the first time I went down there on kickoff, I came down and I kind of gave him a good little shot. He fell back, and this player, I can't remember his name, but he's been in the league for about 12 years. Very good special teams player, hard-nosed guy. So I knew he wasn't going to, just be like, this guy, he hit me hard, you know what I'm saying? So next play down, ran down, and kind of was focused a little bit more on my job, setting the edge, and, he was thinking about that last hit, and he came full-fledged and, knocked me forward, and so foot got stuck in the ground and, fell over, and so, yeah.
Sitting back watching this defense, though, seeing ways that, you can help. How do you see yourself helping the defense, and just what's your thoughts on watching them?
Yeah. So, like I said, I feel like I'm an extremely explosive player. I like to say, like, I'm a game changer. And so I feel like that's really what I can help with, especially in the pass rushes, sacks, forced fumbles, all types of things, even interceptions. And so things like that can change the game, change the momentum. And that's really all I'm about.
You
James, given your success last year, 8 sacks in 9 games, what do you feel like you want to prove or show once you get back on the field this year?
Yeah, everything that I do is really for the glory of God. So anything that I could put out on that field is a blessing to me. My whole stance is, to live for God and just use all the gifts that He's given me to display on the field. He's given me so many gifts, and I just want to do my best every time I step out on the field. Whether that's 3 sacks or whether that's no sacks, but I help the team win. That's what I want to do. I just want to live for the glory of God and do everything that He's given me the ability to do.
Was that hit clean?
I believe so. A couple people have came up to me and told me it was something they need to take out the game. But I mean, it's football, man. I've been playing football since I was little. That's how we raised to play. So yeah.
And when it first happens, I mean, given last year you mentioned it right, like you sat the first half of the year, and then you had such a big, second half. What's the emotion that you go through? I guess on a personal level, just like knowing that you wouldn't have that opportunity maybe again this season to contribute like you did last year.
Yeah, right. It's like an anxiety building up. It's just a build up, and it's like I don't want to say it's a mixture of a lot of things. Nervousness and anticipation. Just a lot of things mixed up, and just you're ready to go. You just want to get back on that field and kind of feel normal and comfortable again. So, yeah.
When it first happened, though, do you think, was there any woe is me that go through your head?
Yeah, of course. I was just like, man, this is the most terrible time that this could happen. But it's like, bro, you're blessed to continue to walk. You didn't have to get your leg amputated. You didn't have, you know what I'm saying? Life could be so much worse. You're in the NFL making hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know what I'm saying? They're paying you to get back healthy. So it's like, bro, I look at life just like you've been given so much, take everything that you're given and try to expand it as much as you can. And so I'm giving everything that they're giving to me as far as rehab and training. I'm trying to take that and expand it as much as I can. So when I get back on the field, I'm that much better.
And one other big picture thing, this defense has sort of been inconsistent, but you could be coming back, maybe CJ. I mean, there's could be getting some key pieces back, I guess, for the stretch run. I don't know if you, sort of can look at the optimistic spin on that, right? What does that maybe mean for this defense?
Yeah, I feel like those two, there are 2 high-level players, and I feel like, we can really change the outcome of our season, the outcome of the defense, everything. These are 2 players that can really help the defense, and so I'm excited. I feel like I know he's excited, but yeah, I feel like we can really do a lot. I know AG is probably looking for us to come back, and so it should be a really exciting time.
You guys racing each other to see who can get back.
Yeah, he's running a little bit faster than me, but yeah.